Now, I know you've read the title, and you're probably going to crucify me in the comments either way if I make this little disclaimer at the start or not, but I love the Ocean Monument. It is a great structure, it looks awesome, and it's just a bomb-ass structure. So please do not crucify me in the comments. This is just meant to help improve the Ocean Monument, because boy, there are things to improve. Let's start off with something simple, the loot. Well, in other structures, the loot's pretty good. Like in dungeons, you can get saddles, name tags, and gold and stuff. But in the Ocean Monument, you get sponges. And now, don't, crucify me or anything, but sponges aren't that good. I mean, unless you really want to clear out a large body of water, they're not really that good. And plus, you can do the same thing with a bucket. And the only other loot you get is maybe some prismarine shards, but you can get that from ocean ruins. And in the middle of it all, the big boss battle, the big thing you come for, is the gold. And gold is the most useless ore in the entire game. It makes bad tools, you don't really use it for anything, unless you want to bling out your mansion or something. So it's pretty bad. Let's talk about its rarity. Usually what you'd have to do is you would have to find a cartographer in like 1 out of every 10 villages. And you'd have to get them up to master level by trading with them to find an Ocean Explorer map. That's what you'd usually have to do unless you just come across one in the ocean. But they're pretty rare for something that has not very useful loot. Loot is minuscule to how rare it is, and I find that really stupid. I don't know, I just don't like the fact that it's so rare and so hard to find when you could get more loot from a dungeon and not have to fight the big bad boss, which is in our next point. Let's talk about its difficulty. Usually, when you have loot this bad, like a dungeon, it wouldn't be so hard. It wouldn't be difficult at all. You'd go over there and it'd be easy. But right now you have to face guardians after guardian after guardian after guardian, with a big guardian that halts your mining speed. And not to mention, you have to have doors enough to fill a small metropolis, or you have to bring enough potions to, I don't know, have a year's supply of water. It is insanely difficult. I don't understand why it's this difficult, this hard to find, and it has no loot in it. Like, what the hell? This part is going to be about how you can fix the loot in the dungeon. What I would suggest to whoever owns Minecraft, it might be Mojang, could be someone else, I don't really know. But this is a fix. How about you, instead of putting some sponges or some gold in the middle, you put a chest with a chance of having some diamonds, some potions, some lights, some sea lanterns. It would be awesome. Or you could put some blocks of diamond in the middle, and yeah, it would be so good just to see some actual loot coming from this thing. Because right now it's just a big gimmick. Like, you go down there and you get the gold, and you beat a dungeon, you beat an Ocean Monument, whoa, you did it. It's just a big gimmick, like, you don't really do anything. So I would suggest to them, putting a chest in there or putting some actual worthwhile blocks in the middle. Keep the sponges. The sponges are useful, I'll admit it, but they do the same thing as a bucket. Like, they're not that useful, and they're not worth fighting through, like, so many waves of enemies just to reach this minuscule bit of loot that you could find literally anywhere else. Let's talk about its difficulty fix. Instead of having waves upon waves of guardians coming at you while you're underwater, how about we just have one boss and maybe like 10 guardians, and they can respawn obviously, because you don't want them to just, once you defeat the 10 guardians, you can just kind of roam free. But instead of having it being this difficult, or if you jack up the loot a lot, keep it this difficult. It's find the difficulty as it is if the loot was actually worth it. But right now it is not. Let's talk about an idea I have for the sponges. Instead of seeing them unnaturally in this big ocean monument, how about we see them in coral reef biomes? And I know the sponge is a fairly important item So we won't have it, as an item that you can find everywhere in a sponge farm, like the sea pickle, because that would just be unbalanced. How about we have it? So there's only about 2 per coral reef biome, and coral reef biomes are pretty uncommon as they are, because sponges are found in real life. Like, sponges are in real life, so it'd be much more cool to see them in an actual coral reef biome next to all the coral and stuff. And just ditch the idea of sponges in the ocean monument and replace it with something better, something that you actually want to go there to get. Like, it's be like, oh, we're raiding a woodland mansion today, let's hope we actually get something good. And you do. Like, instead of getting sponges, you actually do get something good. And it'll be really cool because you can go explore these coral reef biomes and see the beauty of them. I know you don't want your work to go unwasted, and right now, coral reef biomes don't really have a use. So putting sponges would be awesome in coral reef biomes. That about wraps up today's video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. And I hope you liked the improvements that we've made to the, ocean monument. If you disagree with me at any points, leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to reply. And I know it's a bit of a short video, but I'm working on actually some more. So leave some suggestions in the comments of what structure in Minecraft you want to see get, hated on next. And once again, this is just for satire. It's not, I know I sound pretty serious, but it's really not. It's kind of just more to help the improve and, have a clickbaity title. So, yeah. I hope you all had a good time watching this video, and I'll see you again